just at the top middle right hand corner of the screen, and click on. Then we'll go to violations, and then I'm going to read the first violation and explain it. Okay, so 1.1 is capture of state institution. That's a criminal violation that you can charge them with. Capture of state institutions means that you're taking capture of a state institution. PD is a state institution. HP is a state institution. Once they get the legal system up, that will be a state institution. If you see anybody trying to do a, hmm, if you see anybody on floor one that's trying to capture the state institution, you can violate them with a 1.1. Okay, 1.2 is taking power by force, meaning basically it's abuse of power. So they're using the power of force to complete their action, complete their role play. 1.3 is taking. If you see someone being kidnapped or taking hostage, when you run into them again, and maybe they put it in chat and they do a whole ransom, you can go out and try to find them, and you can charge them with a 1.3, which is taking hostages or kidnappers. Okay. 1.4 is a fatal collision with a pedestrian. So if you witness somebody actually VDMing a pedestrian, that's a fatal collision with a pedestrian. Okay. 1.5 is attempted theft. Sometimes you will see it in chat. Tries to steal, you know, Joe Blow, Mob Deep wallet. You can, if you witness it, see if you see something, say something, add violations. Perform the role play. Okay. Um, 1.6 is robbery of a police officer. So basically trying to get into a PD cruiser, basically trying to get into your personal vehicle. That's a robbery of a police officer. That's a 1.6. Okay. So if you, let's just say you went to the tuning shop, prime example, when you're in your regular vehicle and they tried to rob you at the gas station, you can actually put in your macro requesting inmate transportation so someone can bring you a PD cruiser. You will leave your vehicle there, perform the arrest, and take them down to PD. So you'll be en route suspect in custody en route to PD. 1.7 is uncoordinated entry onto territory protected by law. So basically, when they come into PD and they don't have any violations to pay, they start spamming the chat like they did last night. That's technically what it is. It's a 1.7. It's uncoordinated entry onto the territory protected by law. You can charge them with the 1.7. That's why we put up that macro. This is a green zone, not a chill zone. If you do not leave, we will charge you with a 1.7 and a 3.2. Okay, 1.8 is collision with a pedestrian. So they collided with a pedestrian. I mean, a vehicle can collide with a pedestrian. I mean, they can run into something and it collides in with them, but it has to be like a civilian type of action that's being presented to you in the field. Okay. 1.9 is discharging a weapon in a public place. That's that macro that says, please put your weapons away or force will be used. That is the violation that will go along with discharging a weapon in a public place. We're not even supposed to have our weapons out in a public place because of the green zone area. Okay. So we all have to follow the rules. 1.10 is bribing a police officer. So, for example, you locked up Mob Deep down in the jail, and Mob Deep tell you, "Hey, I give you 250 state bucks if you let me out of jail." That's bribing a police officer. You can actually add that violation as well. That's a 1.10. 1.11 is murder of a civilian or a police officer. So prime example, I was headed to the tuna shop with my little bomber and I got killed. Next time I run into them or I see them because I body cam everything, I can charge them with a 1.11 murder of a civilian or a police officer because I was shot down. 1.12 is assault on a police officer, basically hitting. I'm just gonna clarify like what we do down in PD is what we do in PD because we are a PD family. Okay. Now, if someone outside in the field and in the streets is actually assaulting you by hitting you, that is a 1.12 assault on a police officer. Okay. So if they pull up to you, you get out the car, let's just say you stand in the ATM, they go to punch you, turn around and violate them with a 1.12 assault on a police officer. You didn't do anything. Okay. So the next on the list is going to be civil. Okay. Violation 2.1 is harm or damage to state property. So basically, if you see them running down a light pole, that's state property. If they running into the PD, that's harm or damage to state property. Now 2.2 is harm or damage to a private property. That's your private vehicle outside your apartment. Basically, destroying anything that's your personal. Okay. 2.3 is false calls to the police and or emergency services. I've seen a lot of people get in chat and say this is, I'm having an emergency, and then you get there to the scene, there's no emergency. So if let's just say the civilian is still there, you can charge them with a 2.3. All right, violation 2.4 is debauchery, turning on music after being asked to turn it off, spitting in someone's face, etc. So basically, if they're doing all of those actions, you can charge them with a 2.4, like making those little ducky sound noises. Sometime when we have our events and just being really obnoxious, playing loud music, we told you to turn it down. You can charge them with the civil violation of 2.4. Okay, 2.5 is murder threats, murder. For example, if they threaten your life, make murder threats against, you because you're actually out there role playing, you can charge them with a 2.5. Oh, I'm gonna kill you. Yes, that's a 2.5 violation. Okay. 2.6 is insulting a state employee. So basically, they'd be like, you bitch, you fag, we've heard pig, we've heard a lot of things. I've been called a lot of things under the sun. So 2.6, you can actually charge them a total of 6 times with a 2.6. So how you would log it in, a violation, you would do 2.6 times 3, and then go in and add another violation, do another 2.6 times 3. Okay. So if they're just all the way to the police station, if they cussing you out and insulting you, you can charge them. Okay. So a 2.7 is extortion. I consider that blackmail. They got some information, personal information that they said they're gonna leak if you don't do this. That's extortion. Okay. That's a 2.7 violation. I haven't necessarily seen this violation be in place, but I'm pretty sure Franco or Big Ace has. Okay.
Oh, I thought you were about to say they done it.
No, no. Okay, so last violation section is gonna be administrative, which is number 3. 3.1 is resisting arrest. If they just are resisting arrest and they running around you real fast and you can't cuff them, charge them with a 3.1 resisting arrest, because you're gonna finally eventually get them in handcuffs. Charge them with a 3.1. 3.2 is disobeying a police officer. Like I said, a lot of our macros are commands, and can you comply? So when we're throwing them out there to the civilians to let them know that, hey, listen, we have authority. If we're asking you to do something, please do it. If you don't, you get charged with a 3.2, disobeying a police officer. Okay. 3.3 is aiding the arrest, aiding the resisting of arrest. So basically, you pull up on 2 gang members and they homeboys. and you know the other one has a warrant, you do the ID check with one of your dispatch, copy that, and come back, it has a warrant. Now you can do the arrest because you're out there. You're the arresting officer. Okay. Homeboy was like, no, he ain't gonna take my homie to jail. He's aiding in that. You got enough space in that back seat. Arrest both of them and charge them with a 3.3 separately. Aiding the resistance of arrest. That's a crime. Okay. 3.4 is violation of traffic rules, driving in the opposite lane, hitting poles, running red lights. You can charge your violation 3.4. You did a traffic stop and you told them the reason why you pulled them over, and they say, yes, sir, you know, I was trying to do this, but I did that. Add a violation of a 3.4. You can do this during a traffic stop because a lot of them will fly through the lights. They think they NASCAR for real. So charge them. Okay. 3.5 is going to be assault on a civilian. So if you see another civilian hitting another civilian, you can violate them with the 3.5. That's assault on a civilian hitting. Okay. 3.6 last violation is going to be refusal to present requested documents, ID or car documents, or weapons license. So you can run and come up to a civilian and say, hey, listen, can I get your gun license, registration or documents? Can I get your driver's license? If they refuse, you can charge them with 3.6. That's refusal of requesting. Well, I've already requested documents and you refuse. That's being insubordinate. Charge them with a administrative violation of a 3.6. Now, Mr. Slop, I know it was long, and I thank you so much for your patience. You have now completed your macros overview and violations overview. That concludes this class.